I can say without a doubt that my audience experience when I went to see Good Boys was perhaps the most fun I've had in a movie theater audience. And why is that? Well, because this movie never lets up on the hilarious jokes that had the entire audience, including myself, in continuous laughter from start to finish, that it almost felt like being home with a group of friends watching a hilarious comedy together with everyone reacting to all the best moments. Even people's surprised or flabbergasted reactions to some of the more outrageous or dirtiest jokes made those moments that much more funny. This is the type of movie you need to see in a crowd of people if you can, or at least with a group of friends, because laughter is contagious and it brought a sense of community to the theater in such a pronounced way that only elevated my experience with Good Boys. But besides that audience experience, I am happy to report that Good Boys is a really good movie and an exceptional comedy that I could definitely see climbing the charts to join my top favorite comedies in the last 10 years. It's that good, and here's why. For a movie that's about 90 minutes in length, it manages to cram so much story and so many jokes in a short runtime and do so successfully that doesn't make the film feel rushed. It's excellently paced, and I was shocked how much I was already laughing my ass off, even in just the first 5 minutes. Like the first couple scenes, and even though some comedies can be very front-loaded with all the best comedic moments in the first half, but then sort of lose steam in the last half, I'm happy to report that Good Boys does not fall prey to that narrative problem, and the jokes just keep coming from start to finish. Also, this film did a great job at not giving away all of the best jokes in the trailer, which can be a big problem for some comedies. In fact, I would say that they hardly give any of the best jokes away in the trailer at all, and the best ones are saved for the actual movie. And I thought the trailer was hilarious, which is already a huge win for the movie. The fact that they can show great, hilarious material in the trailer to get you to want to see the movie, and then save all of the best stuff for the actual movie, now that is so rare for comedies, and it just made for an even better and more surprising experience. As for our three main leads, played brilliantly by Jacob Tremblay, Keith L. Williams, and Brady Noon, they are young stars on the rise, and all are given equally hilarious content to showcase that makes it hard for me to choose a favorite. I gotta say that I found Jacob Tremblay's reactions the most funny of the three when put in outrageous situations. I thought Keith L. Williams had some of the best one-liners, but I must say that I was emotionally invested in Brady Noon's character arc the most of the main three. All three had distinct arcs and all developed very well, but I have a soft spot for Brady Noon's personal journey and where his story takes him. This is yet another coming-of-age story, and it addresses the reality of growing up and how that impacts friendships in a sweet way that didn't drag the energy of the film down. And this concept has been presented to us before in films such as Superbad and more recently Booksmart, and even though I don't think it pulled at my emotions quite as strongly as Booksmart did, I still found this part of the story in Good Boys very touching nonetheless. This should go without saying that this movie is a very hard R, with so much language, profanity, and sex jokes constantly being thrown at you by 12-year-old kids. And if you find that sort of idea offensive, then this film might not be the best film for you. However, I never felt genuinely uncomfortable by this execution, nor do I feel that they really crossed any lines. And quite frankly, I think it made the film that much more hilarious to witness this type of adult humor being delivered by little kids. It's outrageous, it's shocking, and I loved it. I really don't have hardly any issues with this film, except for maybe just a couple nitpicks. The first is that I took issue with the fact that the last joke of the movie has already been given away in the trailer and marketing campaign. For a movie that had so many surprises and jokes that we hadn't seen yet, I found it only slightly disappointing that I had already seen the ending shot of the movie before seeing it, which didn't feel quite as funny to me like the rest of it because there wasn't that shock value. I wish that they wouldn't have given that scene away just to ensure that you get one last belly laugh inducing surprise. And even though I don't think it ruined the very end. It just wasn't quite as strong of an ending as the other 95% of the movie leading up to it. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, I was very emotionally invested in Brady Noon's character arc, and I won't go into reasons why for the sake of spoilers, but to me, I felt that they were hinting at an even bigger and surprising character arc than what we eventually got, or maybe it's just one half of the pie. That being said, I do recognize that this is a 12-year-old kid, and perhaps what I was expecting to see would be more realistically portrayed or realized if or when he was older. And I can understand that, but I couldn't help but feel that there was more to his arc than what they showed us. Maybe I was overthinking it too, but that's my only takeaway from that. Otherwise, I really enjoyed his character. Good Boys is a hilarious film that I cannot wait to watch again and again, and one that I will make certain to introduce to a number of my friends. It has jokes and laughs that will stick with me for years to come, and even though it wasn't quite as strong as Booksmart when comparing to other comedies of 2019, it's definitely one of my favorite movies I've seen all year thus far, and definitely one of the best produced comedies from Seth Rogen, who is obviously infamous for delivering a number of these raunchy comedies, but this is arguably maybe his best work I've seen from him, if not one of the best. I'm going to give Good Boys an A-. And that's my review of Good Boys. I'd be curious to know if you saw the movie. Feel free to leave your thoughts and opinions down below. And thank you all again for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Ryan Boehme, signing off. Bye, everyone.